I'll create a new component and open the AI assistant where I can describe the component I want to build in plain language. In the prompt, I'll mention all the essential elements that the component may need: the plan, name, description, price, billing details, button, 2 card variations, and a repeater-based list of features. I'll also specify the property type for each field. While the AI would likely choose appropriate types on its own, defining them explicitly helps ensure the component is generated exactly as intended. Once I submit the prompt, the AI assistant generates the component for me. After the process is complete, I can close the AI assistant and continue working in dev mode, where I can inspect everything it created. On the left, we now have editable properties for the plan name, description, price, billing information, button, variation, and feature list. The variation property uses the select type, giving me 2 options, default and featured. In the HTML template, the selected value is checked with a condition. Depending on the selected option, CrocoBuilder adds a different class to the card, such as the default or featured modifier. Then in component CSS, each modifier can have its own styling. This is what allows one component to switch between different visual versions without duplicating the entire component. The features property uses a repeater. A repeater is useful when the number of items is not fixed. Instead of creating a separate property for every feature, we define the fields once and can then add, remove, or rearrange as many items as needed. In the HTML template, the repeater is rendered through a loop. This line starts the loop and tells CrocoBuilder to process every item added to the features repeater. Inside that loop, the individual repeater field is displayed using the item token. Then the loop ends here. As a result, every new feature added in the component settings automatically becomes another item in the pricing card. The generated CSS controls the overall design, including the layout, spacing, typography, feature list, button, and variation styles. And because the component remains fully editable, I can adjust the generated properties, HTML or CSS manually, or open the AI assistant again and ask it to refine a specific part. Now I'll save the component and return to the Crocoblock editor. From the Components section, I'll add the new pricing card to the page and place it inside a container. Then I'll duplicate it twice, so we have 3 instances of the same component. Although all 3 cards use the same structure and styling, each instance has its own editable property values. I'll use the first card for the starter plan, the second for Pro, and the third for Business. For each card, I can update their properties individually. The repeater makes the feature list fully flexible. I can add a new feature, remove an existing one, edit its content, or change the order without touching the HTML template. For the middle card, I'll change the variation property from default to featured. Because the HTML applies the featured modifier class and the CSS contains separate rules for that variation, the card immediately receives an alternative styling. Depending on the generated design, this can include different colors, a highlighted button, a border, shadow, or a featured badge. So instead of creating and maintaining a separate component for the highlighted plan, we can control both versions from a single reusable component.